Canada, land of maple syrup, hockey, and protests. Yes, you heard that right. You betcha. It's a sight to see folks bundled up in parkas, waving placards about everything from milk prices to, well, historical injustices. The cold doesn't seem to dampen their spirits. Now, I'm an immigrant myself, fresh off the boat. Metaphorically, of course, airlines these days. The journey to a new land is always filled with hope and uncertainty. And I hear this sentiment sometimes. Immigrants are the new indigenous people. It's a provocative statement, isn't it? It's a statement meant to highlight the struggles of adapting to a new land, facing systemic barriers, maybe even a bit of good old Canadian passive aggressiveness. The challenges are real and multifaceted. But is it accurate? Is it fair? The experiences of immigrants and indigenous people are complex and unique in their own ways. My Canadian journey is just beginning. But one thing's for sure. Understanding this place means understanding the people who were here first. Their history, their struggles, and their resilience are integral to the Canadian story.
Let's be clear. Indigenous peoples in Canada have a history, a present, and a future intrinsically tied to this land, stretching back millennia. Their connection to the land is profound and deeply rooted in their culture, traditions, and spirituality. They've faced unimaginable hardships, from colonization and residential schools to ongoing systemic discrimination. These experiences have left lasting scars on their communities, affecting generations. To equate their experience solely with the challenges of adapting to a new culture and language feels, well, a tad insensitive. It diminishes the unique struggles and resilience of Indigenous peoples. It's a bit like showing up to a potluck with store-bought hummus and declaring yourself the culinary expert. It oversimplifies and trivializes the depth of their experiences.
Sure, adapting to a new place has its hurdles. Immigrants face challenges like learning a new language, finding employment, and integrating into a new society. But let's not pretend it's the same as centuries of systemic oppression. The historical and ongoing injustices faced by Indigenous peoples are on a different scale entirely.
Now, I'm not saying immigrants don't face difficulties. Navigating the immigration system feels like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded after drinking a gallon of maple syrup. And yes, discrimination exists, but it's crucial to recognize the inherent privilege many immigrants carry.
We too come here, often seeking better opportunities. We benefit from systems built on the backs of Indigenous peoples, often at their expense. To conflate our struggles with theirs is to erase their unique history and ongoing fight for justice.
So where do we go from here? It's a question that lingers in the air, heavy with the weight of history and the promise of change. Well, a good start is listening and learning. It's about opening our hearts and minds to the stories and experiences of others. Understanding the true history of Indigenous peoples in Canada is crucial, not just for immigrants, but for all Canadians. This knowledge forms the foundation for empathy and action.
There are shared experiences, of course, moments of joy and pain that connect us all. The sting of discrimination, the struggle for recognition, the desire to build a better future. These are universal themes that resonate deeply. But by acknowledging the distinct historical and systemic realities of both Indigenous peoples and immigrants, we can foster a more nuanced and respectful dialogue. It's about seeing each other fully and honestly. And who knows, maybe over a plate of Nanaimo bars and some Tim Hortons coffee, we can start building a more inclusive and equitable Canada for everyone. A Canada where every voice is heard and valued, and where we all have a seat at the table.